Go and get a striker. Go and get a focal point. Somebody
I
that you
feel
can
you,
ping
bro.
the ball to up top. Look at fucking Ivan Toney, bro. He's out there. Go and sign him in January. Make it happen. There's been
I was
reports
even
that
going
we're
to ask you
interested.
about Ivan Toney, you know. I was going to ask because he's one of my favourite strikers, like, in the Premier League. I think he's one of the top strikers that gets overlooked constantly. Homegrown, well-rounded, creates chances, scores big goals. And I think he suits your team down to a T. Everything that Arteta believes in Nketiah is, Toney is, and more. Tony is and more, because he's not just a finisher. He's not just an aerial duel winner. He's also someone who's got the all-round ability to link up with his teammates. He holds players off. He gets them in behind. He can also do a job on the wing. I know it's crazy, but he can sort of float from the central positions out onto the edge of the box and also be effective there. So if you've got Martinelli looking to get in at the back post, or I don't know, you know how it is with wingers nowadays. They're always just trying to find the little gaps in the box and then try and get the chance first time. Tony is someone who can identify those passes, get them through to the people like Saka and Martinelli and whoever else is going to be an outlet. Let's say Odegaard gets a little bit more forward, or Havertz sometimes drops into the false nine role. He's perfect next to those type of players. It's why at Brentford, he maximises performances of Mbeumo and other players in those teams. He brings their more central box-to-box midfielders into the actual attacking play of the game. And that's an example of someone. I think if you guys got him, you've got your 20-goal a season striker. The dude scored 20 goals for Brentford, broski. I'm not being funny or not. If he scored 20 goals for Brentford, I would like to think that Arteta could get a tune out of a player like that. And I've saw a couple of links of you getting Ivan Toney. He's been linked with a few other teams. Obviously, we know he was a Liverpool fan. To be fair, when he done that interview, we were the team that he mentions, and yous were the team that he mentions. So definitely.
Is it? Do you know what? There's some misconception that Liverpool don't spend no money, and they do spend money. So I wouldn't be surprised if you went out and got him, but at the same time, she's really need him right now. Like, you are quite stack loaded up front.
We do spend money. We do spend money, but there's about 12 teams in the Premier League who spend more money than us. So we're saying, in comparison to these other teams, we don't spend enough money because we don't, broski. Do you get what I'm saying? You guys spend, though. You guys are spending.
Listen, it's about fucking time we spend some money. You get me, bro? Because it's been a mad thing for years.
Bro, about time, innit? About time. I hear what you're saying. But you are spending money without really selling anyone too huge. Who have you sold recently? That's been a big asset. Aubameyang was free.
The biggest person that we've sold recently is Balogun, really, 30-odd million. Other than that, we haven't really sold anyone big.
Premsy, that's the difference, bro. Like, you guys don't sell people big. We have just got rid of Fabinho and Henderson for a combined 50 mil. That's also freeing up mega wage bill. And also, we've been stacking up P's that we've been getting from Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues. Bro, do you know how long we've just kept money stashed away? Doesn't even mean as much no more. The gold isn't worth the same. That's our problem.
Value inflation gone up. Yeah, it's a mad thing.
Oh, you feel me? You feel me?
But you know what, though? Yeah, I think Klopp, the one thing you got to give Klopp, yeah, he's a world-class manager. There's only a very few world-class managers out there. I put Klopp, Pep, them in the same kind of bracket at the moment. Obviously, Conte, I did have him up there until I seen him come to Tottenham and absolutely kill him off. Simeone, there's a few out there that are world class, but you got to just trust Klopp in what he's doing over there. On the Arsenal side of things, Arteta walked into a mess. We had to spend money. We were so many years behind other clubs, yourself, Liverpool, United, City, all these other clubs. We were well behind him, even behind Tottenham at one point as well. So we needed to really invest, not only to just boost to the squad, but to catch up as well. And I think during that time Arteta come in, we must have let about 6-7 players go, just sign their contracts off, because that's how much of a ruckus we were in. Right now, we have got a very valuable squad, but the depth still isn't there just yet. Saka is playing week in, week out. He needs to get a rest, man. You can see this guy getting absolutely ran into the ground. You're just seeing him now hold the record for the most consecutive Premier League games. It is absolutely mental. But let me just answer this question on the Raya and Ramsdale situation. Oh. I honestly believe Ramsdale should have started this game. And I'm not saying this because I don't think Raya had a great game. I was saying this prior to the game. He's a big game player. He knows how to get his defenders up for it. He knows how to get the fans up for it. And the Emirates, the atmosphere in the Emirates, it weren't great. This is the first North London derby in a long time that I can honestly say the atmosphere wasn't great, where normally before the game, it's going off. During the game, it's going off. After the game, it's going off. It was very timid. The atmosphere, there was little bursts of good atmosphere, but it was nowhere near what the level of what we're seeing at the Emirates. Raya, I think he's a good goalkeeper, made a fantastic save in that game, and you got to give him credit, because if it was Ramsdale, I don't think Ramsdale would have particularly saved that shot. But I think Ramsdale should have went in with this, and Ramsdale must be scratching his head, because he hasn't really done anything wrong in order to warrant to sit on the bench. I think this is looking like where Arteta wants to go. I think he wants the goalkeeper that can play out a bit more from the back, who's a bit more confident, pushing forward and collecting the ball, like a sweeper. So I think Ramsdale's days are numbered at Arsenal in the aspects of guaranteed game time.
Really?
I don't think it should be, but
you feel
playing him in this game and playing him in the Champions League, bro, you'd expect Raya or Ramsdale, one to play a Champions League game, one to play a Premier League game.
Yeah, that's especially how I thought.
Massive games. So this is why I'm thinking Arteta's he might see something in Ramsdale that maybe I've not seen. Yeah, we know that he's not good at saving shots at his near post, but I don't think Ramsdale's too bad with his feet. I think he's actually quite decent with his feet. Last season, he got into the team of the year. I think it's a bit shady on him, but I think we will definitely see him coming against Brentford.
Bro, that would be fantastic. Like that. Like I feel like Arsenal's best case scenario now is January's got to be active. And I know that you've spent loads, and like your owners probably sit there and thought, look at us, we've done a great job. We can probably take our foot off the gas a little bit now. Like, nah, mate, like you've actually got to go and put it down a little bit more, especially if you want to sustain a league title charge. That's the thing. If you want to put yourself and insert yourself in the conversation of a league title, bro, you're going to have to go out there and get a striker, maybe even a defender.
No room for error in it against this Manchester City side. And bro, we've seen that when yous are fighting with him.
Bro, I'll tell you, this is why I'm saying to you, like, you guys should be a bit more worried about the fact there's already a 4-point gap. I know there's the classic, like it's early in the season and they've just lost Rodri and stuff like that. And you've got them next. And I do want to ask about your prediction of that game, if you're all right to give it, because I don't want to give away any of your content or anything like that.
Mine
but yeah, bro, like I just think we know so well, bro. We lost one game, didn't win the league, bro. I know it's not quite your Invincibles, but bro, like, the season where we lost that one game. Do you remember the game that we lost that season?
Was it on points? Was it on points that they beat you to it?
Nah. So we finished on 97 points and they finished on 98 points. So it was 1 point difference. But this was the shitter, bro. It was the game, because the only game we lost that season was against City at the Etihad. And John Stones
John Jones, you got UFC. You have that battering someone.
I love UFC. I always do that all the time. John Stones done the goal line clearance, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, this was the margin, bro. This was the difference of me talking to you as a two-time Premier League winner opposed to a one-time Premier League winner. Do you get what I'm saying?
Those margins. Do you know what it is?
We couldn't draw. Prem. We couldn't draw. Couldn't draw a game.
They're phenomenal, man, and they're a well-oiled machine. Like, even if you do take a Pep Guardiola out of the City system, they probably drop a level because Pep's such a good manager, but they've got everything in place in order to succeed for the long term. Do you know what I mean? Right from the top all the way down to the players and the way they invest in their team, the way they go about bringing in certain players into the club. They're where you aspire to be. And I think with Arsenal, I'm positive that our trajectory of our football club is on an up. Now, people are talking about us challenging for the league and so on, but we have to make a statement. We have to push on it. And it's crazy because if you would have said 4 or 5 years ago, I'd be upset that we've won 4 games and drew 2 at the opening 6. I'd be laughing right now because if you look back at it, it's actually a good start to the campaign. But City are so good, you can't afford to slip up.